What do you actually picture when you hear the words private investigator? For a lot of us, it is still some grainy image from an old movie, a guy in a trench coat sitting in a parked car with a long lens camera. But the real world of private investigation today looks nothing like that, and the businesses doing it well are quietly some of the most interesting operations out there, because they sit at this intersection of law, psychology, technology, and just plain old human persistence. Welcome back to the Next Biz Thing. I am Markus J. Diploma, and this show exists because I love finding the businesses that are doing important work without a lot of noise around it. The ones solving real problems for real people, often at some of the hardest moments in their lives. Today, I want to introduce you to a company that fits that description about as well as any I have covered, and that is HubHound. HubHound is a private investigation firm based in Portland, Oregon, and while their roots are in the Pacific Northwest, they operate nationwide, which tells you something about the trust they have built. This is a team with more than 3 decades of investigative expertise behind it, and that kind of tenure matters in a field where judgment, discretion, and the ability to read a situation correctly can make or break someone's case or someone's peace of mind. Here is what struck me most researching HubHound. Their work spans an enormous range of human situations. On one end, you have criminal defense investigations, where their team supports attorneys and defendants by gathering evidence, tracking down witnesses, and building the kind of case strategy that can genuinely change an outcome in court. On the other end, you have deeply personal matters, divorce and child custody cases where the stakes are emotional as much as they are legal, and where a careful, sensitive investigator can make an already difficult process feel a little more manageable. Then there is relational infidelity work, which might be the most emotionally charged category of investigation there is. People do not hire an investigator for this kind of case because they are looking for drama. They hire because they need clarity, because uncertainty is its own kind of exhausting, and HubHound approaches those cases with a level of care that treats clients as people first and cases second. It is one thing to be skilled at gathering evidence. It is another thing entirely to deliver that evidence to someone whose life may be changing in real time and still leave them feeling supported rather than just informed. That balance between technical skill and genuine human care shows up again and again in how clients describe working with the HubHound team. People talk about investigators who kept them updated at every stage, who were patient with complicated schedules and difficult circumstances, and who were transparent about billing and pricing from the very beginning. In an industry that can sometimes feel opaque from the outside, that kind of communication is not a small thing. It is often the difference between a client who feels like a case number and a client who feels like a person who was actually heard. On the corporate and professional side, HubHound handles workplace investigations, the kind involving misconduct, theft, or internal disputes that businesses cannot afford to get wrong. They also offer personal background checks and pre-employment and landlord screening, services that exist to protect people before a bad situation ever starts. Whether that is a company making a hiring decision or a landlord vetting a potential tenant. And their surveillance investigation service brings it all together with detailed, photographic documentation that turns suspicion into evidence. What really sets HubHound apart, based on everything I found, comes down to a few things. First, they are fully licensed and they operate within the law every step of the way, which matters enormously in an industry where cutting corners can destroy a case and destroy trust. Second, their team is described again and again by clients as fast, communicative, and genuinely compassionate, which is not something you expect to hear about investigators, but it clearly defines how HubHound operates. And third, they tailor their approach to every case individually rather than running everyone through the same playbook, because a corporate fraud investigation and a missing persons case require completely different skill sets and completely different bedside manner. I also want to mention how the firm talks about its own mission, because it stuck with me. They describe their job as not just uncovering the facts, but protecting a client's peace of mind every step of the way, and making sure people get the outcome they actually need at the end of the process. That is a meaningful distinction. A lot of firms in this space treat themselves purely as fact finders. HubHound treats itself as being there for the whole person going through the situation, not just the paperwork. Why does a business like this matter beyond its own client list? Because we are living in a moment where information is everywhere and clarity is rare. People are drowning in half-truths, unreliable online information, and situations where they genuinely do not know who or what to trust. A licensed, experienced investigative team that operates with integrity is a kind of stabilizing force in that landscape. Whether it is a family trying to get through a custody situation, a company protecting its workplace, or someone who just needs to know the truth about a person or a situation in their life, that kind of professional clarity has real value, and it deserves more recognition than it usually gets. It also says something about where the industry itself is heading. Investigation today blends modern technology, legal literal knowledge, and old-fashioned interpersonal skill, and the firms that do all three well are the ones that last for decades, the way HubHound has. Think about how much has changed in this field just in the last generation. Public records are more digitized, surveillance technology is more precise, and the legal landscape around privacy is constantly shifting. A firm that has been operating for over 30 years has had to evolve continuously just to keep delivering the same quality of result, adapting its methods while never cutting corners on what is legally and ethically permissible. That adaptability, paired with old-fashioned instinct and fieldwork, is exactly the combination that keeps a practice like HubHound relevant instead of outdated. There is also something worth saying about the range of people who end up needing a service like this. It is not just one type of client walking through the door. It is a defense attorney trying to build a stronger case for someone who deserves a fair shot. It is a parent trying to navigate a custody situation with their child's well-being as the only priority. It is a business owner who suspects something is wrong internally and needs facts, not speculation, before making a decision that affects people's livelihoods. It is a landlord who wants to make a responsible choice about who moves into a property. Each of those situations calls for a different kind of expertise, and having one firm capable of moving fluidly between all of them while still giving each case individual attention is genuinely rare. If you or someone you know is dealing with a situation that needs real answers, whether it is personal, legal, or professional, HubHound is worth knowing about. They are based in Portland, Oregon. They work nationwide, and their whole approach is built around discretion, precision, and genuinely caring about the people they are helping. That is going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I am Markus J. Diplama, and this has been the Next Biz Thing. Until next time, keep an eye out for the businesses quietly doing work that matters, because there is always another one worth finding.